subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
M, what's up, M?
Yo, so what was the topic? I see you on my TL a lot, and I just decided to join your space. So what was the topic?
Now we different stuff, brother. I don't feel like explaining. You got to come in loaded, brother. You got to come in ready. Yeah, I don't. You can't come in and then have to start explaining stuff. It don't work like that. You got to be ready, brother. Yeah, just having to explain what's going on. We slow everything down. All right. Shout out to everybody in here, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to everybody in here. Raise those hands. Raise those hands, ladies and gentlemen. And I ain't gonna be here too long because I got stuff to do out here in the lovely Birmingham, Alabama. Let's get Lady T. Let's get Teresa. Lady T, Miss Teresa. All the Teresas I know have been cute ladies. I've never met an ugly Teresa. All the Teresas are cute. I used to have a crush on a girl named Teresa when I was in school. She was a little older, and I had a crush on her fine ass. What's up, Teresa?
Hi, Tariq. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dear. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm actually talking to you, my brother. I'm an old head.
Oh, how old are you, dear?
I'm older than you. Oh, how about that?
Okay. Are you in your 60s or 70s?
Well, I ain't in my 70s yet, but I'm gonna make it one day. So
There you go. There you
I
go.
want to
There.
say, I want to say that I am a true supporter of you, my brother. I am a monthly contributor to the Hidden History Museum,
Oh,
and
love
I'm a
it.
channel member and all kind of stuff. So I'm very proud of the fact that even though I'm an old head, I understand what is necessary. What we're going through with all the delineation, and I understand that. You know.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
and I agree, although it gets cringy at times, but I understand it. House cleaning needs to happen. Straightening needs to happen.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
all good. But before I drop down, I know you don't like to hear folks ramble on, and I can tend to ramble. But I wanted to ask you, is it have you ever thought of maybe at some point doing a documentary on the Black Lives Matter, the original activists that were involved? Because I'm gonna give you a little background. The reason why I'm asking is because I was sitting there talking to my brother like a few months ago, and we were talking about certain things, and he's kind of like, "What is that conservative cop that on YouTube who talks anti-black and all?" Yeah.
Brandon Tatum.
Yeah, yes, he was kind of talking some of that stuff, and I'm like, and he mentioned Black Lives Matter. Yeah, like Black Lives Matter. I said Black Lives Matter is not a grass. It does not represent true Black struggle. That's a
Right.
Anyways, and he says, well, can you tell me this? And can you? And I went Googling it, trying to find stuff. And the only thing I was telling him that the original activists were not the same ones who these women who were the front faces of the Black Lives Matter. And so he says, well, give me some information so I can learn about it. So I went to Googling, and I couldn't find anything except for these women who, they put up as the founders of Black Lives Matter. So I was like, oh my gosh, that stuff should be right at our fingertips and easy to find to be able to explain and educate people. So I was like, I wonder if Tariq would think about doing a documentary on to memorialize the true warriors who actually started the movement and who were eventually killed off and murdered. You know what I mean?
Right. But let me touch on that. Thank you, dear. Thank
Bye.
you. But I know I probably won't do a documentary because it's pointless because Black Lives Matter, they use that as a euphemism for black people so that they can criticize black people without making it seem like they're criticizing based on race. So it's pointless to explain that. Um, listen, Black Lives Matter, that was a brand from the Democrat brass. Um, there was grassroots activism happening in the streets after Trayvon Martin. When the streets got turned up, they put the Black Lives Matter brand on it. And with that brand that came from the top brass at the Democrats, then they start creating leaders of the brand, people who are not grassroots at all. None of those women, nobody knew who they were. They were not grassroots at all. And it really got popping heavy during the Mike Brown situation in Ferguson. That's when they started sending those quote unquote Black Lives Matter activists out there in the field, clashing with the real activists. You understand? So it was AstroTurf. Their job was to get out there yelling Black Lives Matter, and then change the subject. And it went from police accountability. It started getting into, well, immigration matters too, and black trans matters too. Yeah. So yeah, that was a con game from the top. So again, they use code words, and they know it's a code word. They know Black Lives Matter is a code word for black people. They know that. So going in depth and explaining what it really is, it doesn't matter because they're going to still use it as a code word. So they're not doing it out of confusion. They're being very deliberate with doing that. So we got to understand why these people. We got to understand how lies work. See, when people do things to us and then lie, you know, the lying part is the important part. It's important that they lie. You see, because when they harm us, especially with the police and all that, when they harm us, just like up in Cincinnati, when they killed that 18-year-old kid and then lied and said he had a gun pointed at the cop when it was a blatant lie, and that's why the dad crashed out on him. See, this is why they fear what the dad did. And they don't want that to become contagious because they don't want the streets holding them accountable because they see that the the streets has zero credibility or they have zero trust in the system now. They see that. And when they lie and have to harm us and then lie about it, see, they do that to maintain a psychological dominance through fear. So when they kill us and then lie about it, that sends a subliminal message to the rest of Black America. We can erase you and nobody's going to be held accountable. You see, now that they got held accountable from asymmetrical warfare, now they're looking shook. They don't want that to become a normalized thing. You harm somebody's family, and then they immediately make your institution accountable, whether you like it or not. See, they like to control the board from all angles. And then when somebody says, oh, we're going to do a different thing, I'm going to be the enforcement law right now, even though, yeah, I will be killed or punished or put in jail. I'm going to still do it. See, when they see that people get rid of their fear of jail and their fear of death, it is a wrap for them. When people get rid of their fear of jail and the fear of death, it is a wrap for the empire. That's the same thing that happened in Haiti. When those Haitians, the minute they stopped fearing death, that's when it became a problem for the French. Because see, the only thing they could do is scare you with death. And yeah, if you harm us, boy, we're gonna torture you, we're gonna do this, we're gonna kill you in these egregious ways. So they would try to use mind tricks. The Haitians, they tapped into their spiritual center and said, you know what? Death ain't so bad if I'm doing it for an honorable reason. That's when they became dangerous, and that's when they won. That's when they won against the French, which was the most powerful military unit in the world at the time. When they got rid of that fear of death, they became a problem. They started lighting them damn white supremacists up. But again, when they lie, they have to justify systemic violence as law and order. See, lying about killing us, um, that allows them to masquerade as public safety. Like, yeah, we're doing this for the good of the public. So the ends justify the means. and they have to lie about why they're doing this stuff, um, so that they can keep the legal system from being exposed as being complicit. So they got to cover up lies, cover up things very early. They got to cover things up extremely early, and make their lies very bold and put them out there very quickly. And also, they have to blame the victims and reinforce stereotypes. They always say, well, yeah, the black person, they died because they were on drugs. Yeah, the black person, they died because they were the ones who pointed a gun. Yeah, the black person who died, well, yeah, they were running and they shouldn't have ran. It's always the black person did something that they shouldn't have done. No, you shouldn't have shot them. And going back to the Cincinnati case, truth be told, I'm hearing stories that the car wasn't really stolen. I don't know how true this is. I'm hearing a lot of conflicting stories, but from what I'm hearing, the car wasn't stolen. I think the car was repossessed or something. This is what I'm hearing. That's one narrative that's out there, because I think the car was behind on payments. This is what I'm hearing from some circles. And a lot of times when a car is behind on payments in certain states, they'll say that the car is stolen. You see, this is what I'm hearing. I don't know the legitimacy of it, but I've heard this narrative from some people. So it's some deep stuff, man. It's some real deep stuff out here. Let me get some more calls. Let me get some more calls in here. I see Teddy the Tether in here. What's up, Teddy the Tether? I don't really want to hear you right now. I don't want to hear Tether babble. I don't want to hear that. Let me see. Let's get a couple more folks in here, because what time is it? Okay, yes. I don't want it to get too late. How many folks in here? Well, we got a lot of people in here. Shout out to everybody in here. Raise those hands. Raise those hands. Let's get DJ Genesis. DJ Genesis, hop on in, DJ Genesis. We'll get DJ Genesis, then we'll get Paul in the building. DJ Genesis, what's up, dear?
In the statue. I've been to Belgium and I've seen statues of little boys peeing into fountains and all kind of wild stuff. And
Oh
for
yeah.
us to sit up there and get mad because there's like this lady probably waiting for the bus or whatever she doing, and with her little boots on, work boots, about to go to like the Walmart or like the Amazon to go to work. We want to get mad at her because she's overweight. But if you go to other countries, it's all kind of wild, small, peen, white dude statues that we get to look at. We got to look at those. So I think we need to stop like getting mad about this, like this black woman that she's a little overweight, okay, and stop it. It's gonna be gone June 17th. We need to just relax and let this guy live. You know what I'm saying? He's a great
No,
artist.
but the thing is, I don't even think it's about its being overweight. It's just it's generic, and we don't need a generic statue. We got real icons out here, and the overweight thing isn't a problem.
That's what most
Yeah,
people are
there we
talking
have.
about.
No, it's just that's one of the things. It's just some random generic woman who's overweight, and there's no backstory to her. It's really a stereotype. It's a mammy. So
It's a
that's the
mammy,
issue.
but she like
Yeah.
she's a worker. If you look at her boots, she got on work boots. If you look at her, she waiting on the bus. Some people say she's a single mom. People want to make the worst thing. She ain't got no man. She ain't, her husband ain't there. She ain't take care of her kid. I mean, the whole
I,
narrative behind this is grown so terrible. Like
Yeah, but yeah, what they do that, yeah, people, it's legit because we got real icons that you can make a statue to or a statue for. Yeah, now you go over to these other countries, they got weird stuff with kids' penises. Yeah, that's their culture. That's their culture. They do weird shit like that. But we got legitimate icons, and if we're gonna have these people upset with the black presence of a black statue, I would rather for it to be a reason why they're upset so that we can back it up with some history and some scholarship. Have a damn statue of Afeni Shakur or somebody. Somebody. We got too many icons that we can have a real discussion about rather than have a statue up there just for the sole purpose of mocking and ridicule. That's really what it's for.
but
And they
hold
did
on,
that
the guy that
deliberately.
made the statue is from like the UK. So this could be
I
somebody that's a
know.
real person.
No,
It could be his
it
auntie,
could.
somebody, and they're just
That's
talking
yeah,
bad about
that's what I'm saying. That he's from his family's from the UK and from Jamaica. So that's what I'm saying. It looks like an immigrant. That statue looks like an immigrant woman. So yeah, that's why I don't like that generic shit. And then it gets chopped up as being Black American. No, we have more deep, nuanced icons than just some random, homely, bad built statue
But hold on,
that
here's the
don't
question
represent.
though. You don't think it's an actually good depiction? Like he did some really good work on the braids. Like I mean, I imagine like the person that made this because he had other statues. I'm not sure if you know this. It's several other statues that he had. There's a black man, a woman holding a baby. Like there's like about five other more statues he had, but he chose this one. I think he knew what he was doing when he chose this one. But I think that
Yeah,
this is a
and who
very
commissioned that?
detailed statue. But
Yeah, it got a
only
lot
the
of
black people are
details in
mad
it,
about
but
this. The white people are thinking it's cool. The white people are like, man, we're the only ones mad about it
no,
though.
no, that's not true. Because you got white people really denigrating that statue big time. They said it was the that Letitia James. So yeah, the white people are going off on the thing too. But you got white liberals who like it because that's the image of black women that they like. They like a homely, asexual, generic black woman with no real background that doesn't force them to face systematic racism. So I think it's just a bad look putting a generic black woman up there, which we don't need that. We have iconic women that can be represented. That's what you represent with statues. That's what you use statues for, to represent and send a message. Not put generic bullshit up there. It's just a generic mammy, and I think it's a Caribbean. I really do. It looks like a Caribbean.
Why she gotta be a mammy
All
though? Why
right.
she gotta be a mammy though?
Because they wanted to put up
She
mammy
got on work
statues. They
boots.
loved
She
to
went. She works at Amazon. It just depends on what story you tell about what she.
rise so people can it's just and we're deeper than that. That's not anything to idolize. I mean, not to denigrate people, not to denigrate people who are working regular jobs or whatever. But if we're going to put up a statue, that's something to aspire to. That should give people something to look up to and have an aspiration for, in my opinion. But thank you, DJ. I appreciate you, dear. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get Paul in the building.
Hey, no, that's I think that statue is it's part of a piece on like exploring the ordinary. It's a guy, they're just temporary statues, by the way, they're not permanent. But he's just saying like,
Okay.
let's just put up a statue of an ordinary person because that's maybe something we should it's kind of a artsy thing to flip it instead of being an icon. We're just gonna have a regular person. That's my understanding of why they did it.
Okay. Well, they could have put if you're gonna put a black woman up there, put a fine one up there. There's a lot of beautiful sisters up here. They could have put a foundational black American woman up there, not a Jamaican nurse, because that's what that damn statue is. That FBA women don't look like that for the most part, dude. Let's stop bullshitting. You understand? Most FBA women don't look like that. They got a little, they got a little more swag and a little more flavor. Yeah, they're just not FBA women. Don't walk around looking homely like that. That's a Caribbean. Say that. Shit. You understand? No, I don't want people trying to misrepresent our culture. Nikki, what's up, Nikki? Let me get Nikki in here. Nikki the God. What's up, Nikki? Nikki the God, hop on in.
Hi, Tariq. This is for the lady named Genesis. First of all, it's being said that the woman is Nigerian. I just put this up in your jumbotron. This lady right here is claiming to have posed for this picture.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she might be trolling. I know
Oh,
who y'all
okay.
talking
All
about.
right.
Yeah, it was a woman who said, yeah, she said she was the model for it
Oh,
and
so she
she's a
was trolling,
Nigerian.
probably. Okay, you could take it
I
down.
think, yeah,
Okay, but but
yeah.
but for Genesis though, if there's really, with all due respect to Genesis, it ain't nothing personal, but they can go over there and they can post this model up in their country if they want. We don't want this here. They can go put this up in
Yeah,
Jamaica. They can go put this up in Nigeria. They can go put this up someplace else. They can go put this up in the UK. We don't want this here. And that's all I have to say.
right. I mean, yeah, just people saying y'all get mad. We didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for no generic Caribbean nurse. We okay. Yeah, that ain't. We didn't ask for that from a Caribbean British artist. We didn't ask for that. Say, hey, look at what I did. Hey, don't ain't it? No, no, I don't know. We got our statues. Look, if y'all want to see some statues, y'all come down to the Hidden History Museum in LA. We got a statue of Biddy Mason and a backstory on her, who was one of the wealthiest women in Los Angeles in the 1800s. And we got a bronze statue, or a bust, not a full statue, but a bronze bust of the great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, one of the best, greatest, most beloved scholar warriors in the medical industry, in the psychiatrist industry. You see, so we know how to create busts and monuments for our icons. Yeah, I'm not going to create a damn generic mammy. For what? So yeah, don't use our culture to do your performative art. And no, like Nikki said, put that shit in your homeland. Knock yourself out. Yeah, we didn't ask for it. Yeah. Let me get my brother Robbie in here. Let's get Robbie Blue in the building. Robbie, hop on, sir. Robbie, hop on. I'm good, man. How are you?
Accepted as they will be because they're true vampires. This looks to me like this is low key some proxy stunt by white feminists to try to like low key bait black women, you know what I'm saying, to get back on that train because they try to put Kamala out there. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to throw
Yeah.
anything at the wall to stick, and they don't understand the grassroots that we've delineated. So in their mind, because they're out of touch with the grassroots, they figure as long as we do some symbolism and long as we can still keep, black women out there some kind of way, they're gonna come back because this is our way of showing that we have support, but they don't understand that we're rocking together as FBA with all of these high profile cases and things going on. We're really dealing with systematic white supremacy in real time. So it just seems to me like it's a cowardly, half-heartedly, they didn't think it out. They're still stuck, 40 years ago thinking that as long as they can just put some bait out there, they can play divide and conquer and get black women, you know what I'm saying, to jump back on the Democratic bandwagon. What do you think? I'll land my plane.
Yeah. Democrat shit. They're going to turn around and be like, "Hey, look at what we did. We had we see you and we hear you." While the Republicans were um, rolling back civil rights, we created a statue of a black woman. So you need to vote for us. We're Team Black. Black girl magic. So yeah, that's a con game. And we ain't going for that. We didn't ask for that. We're good on it. All right. All right. Let me see. Let me get up out of here, guys, before it gets too late. It's been real. All right, y'all go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com, make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. Go to um, rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant, rootworkstyle.com. I'm up out of here, guys. It's been real. Papi Akute, Lola Vuve to the family. Peace.
I need some more work, baby, tonight. Ooh, I need some more work on me tonight. Ooh, I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work on me tonight. Yeah, yeah. I need some more work on me tonight. Ooh, I need some more work, baby, tonight. I need some more work. tonight.